Emma Rodriguez wiped the flour off her face, took a step back to look at the big wedding cake she had just decorated. It was a beautiful cake, with 3 layers. Emma Rodriguez was 28 years old. She had used all of her money to open Sweet Haven Bakery in the downtown part of Seattle. The bakery was small. It had light blue walls and old copper things that looked nice. This was what Emma Rodriguez had always wanted. Now she had to work a lot, like 70 hours every week, and she owed a lot of money. Emma Rodriguez loved Sweet Haven Bakery. It was her dream come true. Her phone buzzed with a text from her sister Lucia. She got a message that said, "Do not forget the charity gala tonight because you promised to be at the charity gala tonight."
Oh.
The last thing Emma wanted to do after being awake for 12 hours was to put on a dress and talk to a lot of people she did not know at a party with important people. From Seattle, her friend Lucia worked at the children's hospital that was having the party, and Emma had promised Lucia that Emma would be there. 3 hours later, Emma stood in the ballroom of the Fairmont Olympic Hotel. She felt out of place. The Fairmont Olympic Hotel was a place. Emma's dress was simple and black. She had bought it from a department store when they were having a sale. The other women were wearing dresses from designers. These dresses were beautiful and fancy. Emma's dress seemed plain compared to them. She was holding a glass of wine. Emma was trying to look like she cared about what they were talking about. They were talking about taking care of yachts. Emma was not really interested in yacht maintenance. She was just trying to be polite. That was the moment when she saw the man. She saw him at that time. The man was standing there when she saw him. Julian Blackwood was standing near the bar. He had a lot of people around him, all talking to him and listening to what he had to say. Emma knew who he was away. People in Seattle knew Julian Blackwood. He was a man who had made a lot of money from his company Next Tech Solutions. He had started this company in a garage. Now it was a big deal all over the world. Julian Blackwood was 35 years old. He looked very good in his suit. His face was nice with cheekbones and gray eyes that looked like steel. He looked like a picture from a magazine. Emma thought he looked perfect. Julian Blackwood was an important person, and he knew it. The man looked really bored. He did not seem to be interested in anything. The man just looked utterly bored. Emma saw a woman wearing a fancy gold dress. She was laughing too hard at something Julian said. Julian did not look happy. He was smiling. It did not look real. His eyes were cold. It was like Julian was just going through the motions, being nice to people because he had to, not because he wanted to. Julian seemed like he was thinking about something entirely. The woman in the gold dress was still laughing. Emma was looking at Julian. "That is Julian Blackwood," a voice beside her said. Emma turned to see a man in his 50s with eyes. "He was a smart guy, people say," Julian Blackwood reads. "A lot of books, 50 books every year, and he knows how to speak 6 different languages. But Julian Blackwood is a cold person. He is not very friendly, like a big block of ice." Emma found herself nodding. She had read all the articles about the businessman. He was a businessman. People said he was a workaholic. This man clearly valued efficiency over emotion. His employees had a lot of respect for the businessman. Nobody actually claimed to really know the businessman. "Excuse me," Emma said quietly. She wanted to find Lucia and get out of there. She turned around to head for the door, bumped right into someone. Her wine glass started to tip over. It was like it was happening slowly. The red wine spilled over a nice white shirt. It was a big stain. "Oh no," Emma said, looking up at the man and seeing that his steel gray eyes were now completely fixed on her. "I am really sorry," she told him, feeling bad about what had happened. Emma thought to herself that she had made a mistake, and she wanted the man to know that she was truly sorry for it. The man's steel gray eyes were still looking at her. Julian Blackwood looked down at the stain on his shirt. It was getting bigger. Then he looked back at Emma. His face did not change. Something moved in his cold eyes. Julian Blackwood's eyes were really cold. Now they seemed even colder when he looked at Emma. The man said clumsy. His voice was really deep, and he had it under control. Emma felt her face get really red and hot. "It was an accident," she said. "I told you I was sorry about what happened with the accident. Saying sorry does not fix a $3,000 shirt. The shirt is still broken." An apology is not enough to make up for a $3,000 shirt that is ruined. $3,000 is a lot of money. Emma's voice went up even though she did not want it to. For a shirt that's just crazy? The price of the shirt is insane. Emma thinks that $3,000 for a shirt is much money. One dark eyebrow went up a little. Is that really true? Maybe you just do not get what makes something really good. Emma said, I know it is bad to be a jerk all the time. She was really tired and worried. Then she got very angry. It was not on purpose, Emma said. A normal person would just say, it is okay, and forget about it. Emma thinks that is what a normal person would do with something. It's like this, they would just say, okay, and move on with the accident. Julian said a normal person would watch where they are going. Now Julian had something different in his face. Maybe Julian was interested. Maybe Julian thought it was funny. Emma and the man stared at each other for a time. Emma saw things about the man that she had not seen from across the room. The man had a scar above his left eyebrow. When the man was annoyed, his jaw got a little tight. The man seemed cold. Emma thought his eyes were really beautiful. Emma looked at the man's eyes. She thought they were nice. The man's cold demeanor did not match his eyes, Emma thought. Emma Lucia showed up next. To her, looking really upset, Mr. Blackwood, I am very sorry. My sister Emma did not mean to. Julian told her that her sister should be more careful. He kept looking at Emma's face. The time, he said that accidents can happen to anyone. Really expensive accidents can happen to Emma's sister. He turned around, walked away from Emma. The crowd moved out of his way, like when you throw a stone into water and it makes a path. Emma watched him go. Her heart was beating fast because she was embarrassed and also really mad at him. For some reason, Lucia asked in a quiet and angry voice, do you have any idea who that person was? Emma said this to herself, that man really needs to learn some manners. Emma forgot about Julian Blackwood for a couple of weeks. She was really busy with work trying to get all the orders filled. At the time, she was trying to talk to her landlord, who was getting more and more annoyed. The person who owned the building was thinking about selling it. This really scared Emma. If someone new bought the building, they could make her pay 3 times much rent, or even make her leave the place altogether. Emma was worried about what would happen to her, and Julian Blackwood was not on her mind at all. She was only thinking about her shop and the problem with her landlord and the building owner. The letter finally came to me. I was waiting for the letter. Then the letter arrived. It was the letter that I had been thinking about for a time, and now the letter was in my hands. Emma looked at the paper. Her hands were shaking really badly. The building she lived in had been sold to someone. Now Nextech Properties, which is a part of Nextech Solutions, owns the building. The person in charge of Nextech Properties, who's also her new landlord, is Julian Blackwood. Nextech Properties is the company that Emma has to deal with now. Julian Blackwood, her landlord from Nextech Properties, is the one who will be collecting her rent. The letter told her that they were going to tear down the building in 6 months. They wanted to build luxury condominiums in its place. She had 6 months to find a place to live. The building was going to be demolished. She had to relocate by then. Emma read the letter 3 times. It was like her whole world was falling apart. This was happening after 6 months. She had put in 2 years of work to build Sweet Haven. The people who came to Sweet Haven really liked it. They kept coming back. She was finally making money to pay her bills. Now Julian Blackwood was taking away everything she had worked for at Sweet Haven. She did not think about it. She just went ahead. Acted. The woman did not think for a moment. The woman acted on her feelings. 20 minutes later, Emma walked quickly into the shiny building where Nextech Solutions was. The security people tried to stop her. She did not listen and kept going to the special elevators for important people. The lady was not allowed to go without making an appointment first. A security guard yelled this, ran after the lady to stop her. Watch me, Emma said. In a tone, she pushed the button for the top floor. She walked fast into the big office area, not paying attention to the assistant who looked surprised, and went straight into Julian Blackwood's office. He looked up from his desk. You could see the surprise on his face for a second before he put on a calm face again. Miss Rodriguez, "This is a surprise to see you here," he said. "Emma said that you remembered her name." "I remember every person who messes up my clothes." He leaned back in his chair, looked at her. She was sitting there. He was studying her face. "I think you came here to talk about something, not my clothes that you ruined." Emma threw the letter onto his desk. "You are destroying my bakery," she said. "The building where my bakery is, you are tearing it down. You want to put up more of those apartments that people in this city cannot afford? My bakery is a place that people in this city love, and you are taking that away from them. You are taking away the bakery to build luxury apartments." Julian picked up the letter, looked at it for a moment. Then he put it back down. He said, "This is an idea for my business. The value of the property has gone up a lot. I will make a lot of money from this investment. The property value has really increased significantly. This is a business decision because the return on investment is very good. All you see is numbers and returns on investment. You do not see the people whose lives the investment is destroying. The people are what matter, not the returns on investment. You are destroying the lives of people with the returns on investment. I see a company working in a building that's not safe and has old systems. I think this is a chance to make a neighborhood a better place." His voice was quiet. Made sense, which was really frustrating. "Just because you care about this place does not change the fact that it is not making money," he said. "My emotional attachment." Emma's voice cracked. "That bakery is my world. I spent all my money on it. I am at the bakery for 16 hours every day. The people who come to my bakery are like my family." "But you do not know what that is? Like, do you? You have probably never had to work for anything, because you have a lot of money and an easy life." Something scary flashed in Julian's eyes. He got up, walked around the desk really smoothly like he was sneaking up on something. "You do not know anything about my life." Emma said that she knows he does not care about anyone but himself. His closeness was making her heart beat fast. The man was taller than Emma remembered him. He had shoulders too. His eyes, the Facebook eyes, were burning with a lot of intensity, which did not match the kind of person people thought he was. A person with a cold reputation, the Facebook man. With a cold reputation? Is that what you think? He stopped close to her, so close that she could smell the nice cologne he was wearing. It was one of those kinds that is not too strong. "That I am some kind of person who does not care about anyone? Prove me wrong then," Emma said, looking up at him with her chin held high. "Do not tear the building down. I need time, and so do the businesses that are inside. They need time to move to a new place. The building is where all the businesses are, and they need time to relocate properly." Julian looked at her for a long time. Then something strange happened. He smiled at her. It was a small smile, just a tiny bit of a curve on Julian's lips, but it changed the way Julian's face looked in a big way. "He told me that he would make me a deal," the man said. "You have to cater the events for my company for the 6 months. If your bakery does a job and you show me that it is really worth saving, then he will think again about tearing it down, about the demolition of the bakery." Emma blinked. She was really caught off guard. What did that mean? She thought to herself. What was going on? She asked herself, "What? You say your bakery is really something. I want to see what makes it so unique. You need to show me that it has something that I just cannot find else." He went back to his desk. Suddenly, he was not as friendly as he was before. "His assistant is going to send me the schedule for the events. The first event is on Friday. I really hope you do not let me down, Miss Rodriguez." Emma said, "I will not." She was really confused at that moment. "You will not regret this," she told him the words of the decision about the thing that was happening with the people around her, which was the thing that Emma was talking about, which is what Emma meant by this. Julian said that he never regrets the decisions he makes. He was already looking back at his computer again. The decisions he makes are what make Julian successful. Emma walked out of her office feeling really confused. She had managed to buy herself some time. She was not sure if it was worth it. The problem was that she worked for Julian Blackwood, which meant she had to spend a lot of time with a man who was really annoying of himself and somehow really attractive. The first event was a disaster. Emma got to the Next Tech headquarters early in the morning with her assistant Riley. They brought in a lot of food like pastries. special cakes and all kinds of bread for a meeting with the important people at Nextech. Emma and Riley were trying to get everything for the board meeting breakfast. Julian's assistant, Patricia, is a sharp-eyed woman. She looks at everything closely like a military general. Patricia checks all the details. She does not miss a thing. Julian's assistant, Patricia, is very good at her job. Mr. Blackwood is a man who expects things to be perfect, Patricia said. She was looking closely at a croissant like she was trying to find something wrong with it. Mr. Blackwood notices Mr. Blackwood pays attention to everything. Emma stopped herself from saying something. It was what she expected him to do. Emma thought that this kind of thing was typical of him. When Julian came into the conference room, Emma was putting the things on a platter. She felt Julian's eyes on her before she actually saw him. That way he looked at her that made her feel funny. Julian walked by without saying hello. He sat down at the head of the table. The people on the board really liked the food. Emma looked at Julian without him noticing as he tried her chocolate raspberry tart. His face did not change. He ate the whole thing. This was the thing to saying he liked it that Emma would get from Julian and his reaction to her chocolate raspberry tart. Over the month, Emma did a lot of catering for 6 more events. She started to notice some things about Julian. The way Julian rolled his shoulders when Julian was feeling tense. Julian took his coffee black at the morning meetings. In the afternoons, Julian liked to add cream to his coffee. One thing Emma noticed about Julian was that Julian always said thank you to the people who brought the food, even when Julian did not say anything to anyone. She saw how the other employees at work reacted to him. They definitely had respect for him. Some of the employees even looked up to him. The thing is, nobody really felt at ease when they were around him. He would eat his lunch by himself in his office. He never went to the Friday drinks with the other employees. The man existed in a bubble of isolation. He was always alone, even when there were people around him. The other employees just did not know how to be around him. Emma asked Patricia one afternoon, does he have friends? While she was cleaning up after a client luncheon, Emma was really wondering about this, so she asked Patricia again, does he really have friends? Emma said this because she was thinking about the client luncheon they just had. Emma looked at Patricia. Said, I do not think he has any friends at all. What do you think, Patricia, about the client we just had for luncheon? Patricia gave her a look. Mr. Blackwood does not do friends. He has people he does business with, and people who work for him. That is all. Mr. Blackwood has business associates and employees. Emma said, that is sad. Without thinking about what she was saying, Patricia said that the man was Mr. Blackwood. The 4th month was really bad. Emma got to Sweet Haven at 5 in the morning. Found that water was coming out from under the door. It turned out that a pipe had broken during the night, and Sweet Haven Bakery was totally flooded. The dough, the flour, the sugar, everything at Sweet Haven Bakery was ruined. Emma had an event at Nextech in 3 hours, and she was in a lot of trouble. At Sweet Haven, Emma stood in the water. She was fighting back tears. Emma called Riley. Then she started to salvage what Emma could from the water. The thing is, there was no way Emma could make food for 100 people in time. Emma was going to fail. Julian would tear down the building without even thinking about it twice. Her phone rang. It was Patricia. Miss Rodriguez, where are you now? The event is going to start in 2 hours, and I need to know where you are, Miss Rodriguez. I know what is going on. There has been an emergency. Emma told me about the flood, and her voice was shaking. I am going to have to cancel the plans. The flood is really bad. I feel terrible about it. I'm so sorry that the flood is causing all these problems and that I have to cancel because of the flood. There was a pause. Hold on. 5 minutes later, her phone rang again. This time, it was Julian calling her. He said, what happened? Julian's voice sounded really sharp and professional. Emma said it again. She was really tired and she did not care about hiding her feelings. I failed. You can go ahead. Tear down the building now. I obviously cannot handle the building project. Julian said to me, where are you? I'm at the bakery. The bakery is where I am now. I do not understand why the bakery is so important. Why does the bakery matter to you? He said, I am coming there. Do not leave. Then he hung up the phone before she could say anything back. To him, Julian Blackwood got to the place 15 minutes later in a nice black car. He got out of the car wearing jeans and a gray t-shirt. He looked like a person, which was really different from how Emma usually saw Julian Blackwood. Julian Blackwood looked around at the bakery that was all flooded. Then he turned to face Emma. "Do you have some recipes that you have written down somewhere?" "I am looking for recipes. I want to know if you have any written down. Maybe you have a book of recipes or some notes with recipes written down." Emma nodded. She looked really confused. "Yes, the thing is, I do not have time to make the food. I also do not have a kitchen to make the food in. I mean, cooking the food, it is not possible for me, Emma, because I do not have a kitchen. My house has a kitchen. It is a big kitchen with a lot of stuff in it, but the kitchen is never used." He took out his phone. "Patricia, I want you to clear my morning. Please reschedule the client meeting for this afternoon. Also, please send my address to Miss Rodriguez." "Your house?" Emma said again. "You really want me to do the cooking at your house?" Julian said, "Unless you have something. We only have 2 hours. Let us not waste our time arguing about this. We need to make a decision. We need to make it now. The thing is, we do not have a lot of time to spare, so let us just get on with it and stop arguing about the things. Julian thinks that we should just focus on what we have to do, and that is find a solution to our problem." Julian's home was a nice modern house that looked out over Puget Sound. The kitchen was huge with appliances that were used by professionals. These appliances probably cost more than Emma's bakery. Julian rolled up his sleeves. Stood beside Emma. The man said, "Tell me what to do." He was looking for some help. Wanted to know what he should do next. The man really needed to know what to do, so he asked for instructions. Emma looked at them in surprise. "You are really going to help, Emma? You cannot do this by yourself in 2 hours. So yes, I am going to help you with the work. Now stop looking at me like I have done something and start giving me tasks to do." What happened next was really weird and intense for our Emma. It was like the next 2 hours were the craziest of her life. Julian did what he was told without saying a word. He did it really well. He got out the ingredients and measured them, then he mixed the dough, piped on the frosting. His face was still really serious. You could tell he was focused on what he was doing. Then there was something in his eyes that was different. It was like he was actually having a time. Emma saw something in Julian's eyes that she had not seen before, something that looked like he was enjoying the baking with her. Julian was enjoying the baking. Emma said that the person is really good at making bread. They were doing a job of making a challah loaf, and it was turning out perfectly. The way they were braiding the dough was amazing. Emma said, "You are good at this," as the person finished braiding the challah loaf. Julian said that he is very good at doing what people tell him to do. He also said that his hands do not shake a lot. Julian and Emma worked together. It was like they were two parts of a whole. The time they spent together, the better they got at doing things at the same time. Julian would do things that Emma needed even before she said anything. Emma started to feel really comfortable around Julian, which was new for her. The tension she usually felt was, instead, she felt like they were friends, like they had a special connection, a special bond between Julian and Emma. Emma looked at them with a face and said, "Why are you doing this?" As they put the finished goods into containers, they could have just stopped the event. They did not, and Emma wanted to know why they were still doing it. "You could have just stopped the event," she said, looking for an answer. Julian was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "You care about the bakery." He said it like it was a deal. "You care about your bakery much. It is like it is your family or something," he said. "I think that is really interesting, the way you care about your bakery. Is that the reason you gave me this offer? You thought I was really interesting. You wanted to work with me the deal because you found me the person you were talking to compelling?" He looked at her, and for the time since they met, the mask he was wearing completely fell away. He said yes. The event was a success. The clients loved the food. Patricia even smiled, which Emma thought was something that did not happen often. Emma could not stop thinking about Julian's kitchen and those 2 hours she spent working with Julian, like they were working together, not against each other. Emma kept thinking about working with Julian in Julian's kitchen. The morning Emma went to Nextech, she wanted to drop off a thank you basket. When she got to Patricia's desk, Patricia was not there. So Emma went to Julian's office. Knocked on the door, he said, "Come in," with his voice. Emma walked in. Then she stopped. There was a woman in the room. This woman looked really great in her suit. Her hair was a light color, and it was pulled back into a neat bunch. The woman had a look on her face. It was a look that said she always got what she wanted. Emma saw that the woman had a face like someone who was used to being in charge. The woman with the platinum hair was someone who seemed to come out on top, the woman said to Julian. "Julian, I think we should talk about the Julian's Bakery project that Julian is working on." Julian's face did not show anything. He said to Vanessa, "Vanessa, I do not think this is a time to talk. No, I think the timing is just right." Vanessa turned to Emma with a smile. It did not look very real. "You are Emma Rodriguez, I guess." "My name is Vanessa Sterling. I used to be engaged to Julian, so that makes me his former fiancée, Vanessa Sterling." Emma's stomach felt like it was falling down. The word fiancé made her think about Julian and the kind of woman he would be with. It was no surprise that someone like Julian was engaged to a woman like Emma's fiancée, who seemed elegant and flawless. Julian was with a woman who was really put together, the kind of woman people look up to. Emma thought about Julian's fiancée and how perfect she was. Julian said this with a lot of emphasis. He was standing up when he said it. He told Vanessa to please go. He said, "I am a something," but then he stopped and said, "Vanessa, please leave." Vanessa said, "We need to talk about what you're doing." Her voice was cold. "I know about the deal you made with Miss Rodriguez. You are working with her to make people think you are a person. You are a man who wants to look good. You help Miss Rodriguez in her business. Then people will like you. This will look good in the newspapers and on television. You are using Miss Rodriguez to make yourself look good." Emma said, "That is not what this is." Then she started to feel unsure. She thought about it, wondered if that is really what this is. Emma asked herself if she had been too trusting. Had Emma just been naive about the thing? Vanessa got out her phone. She said, "I have proof of what you two have going on. I have text messages and contracts that say it all. Do you want me to show them to the newspaper people? I think they would really like to hear about this. A rich guy and a bakery owner pretending to be business partners. That is a story. If people found out about this, it would probably hurt his plans to join forces with Crawford Industries. The fake partnership between the billionaire and the bakery owner would be over the news. The billionaire and the bakery owner would be in trouble." Julian's jaw got really tight. He said, "What is it that you want from me? I think you know what I am looking for. I want you to stop the merger now. You should come back to Sterling Tech, because that is where you really belong. You should be with me at Sterling Tech." Vanessa moved closer to Julian. "We had something going on between us, Julian. I think we can be happy together again at Sterling Tech." "No," Julian said. "We were never really good together. You wanted someone to show off a husband who would also be a business partner? I wanted a relationship. I wanted something that actually meant something to me. Something with you was not it. You just wanted a trophy husband and business partner. I wanted something with someone, but that someone was not you."
Oh, seriously?
Vanessa laughed. "You mean like your thing with the girl from the bakery? Come on, you do not do relationships, Julian. You do what is best for you. Everything you do is thought out. You think about what you can get from it." Emma felt really sick. She wondered if any of what happened was real. She thought about the morning in the kitchen, the way he looked at Emma, the nice things he did for her. Was Emma just another deal to him? "Emma," Julian said. His eyes found hers. "The thing is, it is not what she is saying." Julian was looking at Emma when he said this. He wanted Emma to know that what she heard was not the truth. It's about what that woman was saying. Emma heard herself ask this question. "Do you actually know how to be real?" she said to him. "Or is everything a deal with the person you are talking to?" Emma asked. She wanted to know if the person she was talking to was being genuine. Emma said, "Is everything about making a deal with you, or can you just be real?" For once, before Julian could say anything, Vanessa smiled like she had already won. "I will give you 24 hours to think about my offer, Julian. After that, I am going to the press." She walked out. The The room was filled with the smell of really expensive perfume. Emma just stood there. She did not move. Her mind was thinking about a lot of things fast. Julian said that she is lying. He said this in a voice. The thing she is lying about is his motivations. Julian did not help this person for the sake of publicity. Julian helped this person. It was not for publicity. Julian wants to make it clear that his motivations were not about getting attention from people. The reason Julian helped is not what she said it was. Julian is talking about his motivations and what really drove him to help. Then why did you do it? Emma asked. Why did you offer me this deal to begin with? I mean, what was the point of helping me out yesterday with my problem? Then you turn around and do this? Why did you help me yesterday and now you are offering me this deal? I do not get it. Julian was quiet for a long time. Then his voice sounded funny. When you came into my office and you were so mad and excited and not scared of me, all that was the first time in a long time that someone saw me as just Julian, not as some big boss or a lot of money. You stood up to me. I kept thinking about you, the girl who did that. You saw me as a man, not as someone with a title or a bank account. You challenged me. That is what I liked about you, the way you were not afraid of me, the way you saw me, the girl who saw me. Emma's heart was beating fast. She said, you do not know me well. I know you work long days for something you really want. I know you always put a few cookies in the bags for the kids. I know you remember the name of every customer. He walked closer to her. I know that when you are thinking hard, you bite your lower lip. I know you hum a tune when you are baking. I know that you really care about people, and that is something I have not done. In a time the way you care about the customers and the kids and everyone who comes into the place. Emma whispered too. Julian, he said, I am not good at this. He was talking about feelings and connections with people. He has been building walls around himself for a long time. This is why he does not know how to let someone get close to him. The person he was talking to was different. Somehow, that person was able to get through the walls that he had built. The person he was talking to got through to him. Emma really wanted to believe him. Vanessa's words were stuck in her mind. They mixed with her fears and doubts about the whole thing. Emma thought about what Vanessa said. It made her feel unsure about what to do. She said, I need to think about all of this, about my life and everything that is going on. I need to think about everything, Julian. His face was blank like before. He said, Course. Emma. Her mind was all over the place. She went to the bakery, worked the rest of the day. The bakery was busy, so Emma filled orders without thinking about what she was doing. She just kept thinking about what happened with Julian. Emma thought about everything they said to each other. She wondered if she got it all wrong. Maybe Vanessa just made her think that way. Maybe Vanessa made Emma doubt what she really felt about Julian. Emma thought about this over and over. At the bakery, that evening, Riley found her crying in the kitchen. She asked her, what is going on that made you cry like that? Emma told her everything. Riley listened to what Emma had to say, then she shook her head. She said the man helped Emma bake for 2 hours at 5 in the morning. If that is not real, Emma does not know what is. But what if Vanessa's right? What if I'm just naive? Emma, Riley said, that man looks at you like you are the thing he has ever seen. I have seen it at every event we have been to. The way his eyes are always on you. The way his face lights up when you walk into a room. This is not about planning something, Emma. This is about the man having feelings for you, Emma. Emma wanted to believe it. She really did. Emma thought about it a lot. She wanted it to be true. The thing is, Emma was not sure if she could really believe it. Emma wanted to believe it badly. The morning her phone was full of messages. She looked at media and felt really scared. There were a lot of pictures of Julian and her in his kitchen cooking together and smiling. The news said things like billionaire's secret romance and love rises, Blackwood and the baker. She saw pictures of Julian and her everywhere. It was like the whole world was talking about Julian and her. Vanessa had told the story. It was not the same story she had been talking about before. She did not tell it the way people thought she would. Vanessa told the story of her and the other person as a real love story. The story that Vanessa told was two people who really loved each other. Emma's phone rang. It was Julian. "Do not believe the stories," Julian said away. "I am taking care of this," Julian told Emma. Emma said, "How do you plan on doing that?" "Is it by saying we are not a couple?" "We are not really a couple, are we?" "Not really," Julian said. "That depends." He said it quietly. "On what you want the people like us to be? That is what it depends on the people. Like us." Before Emma could say anything, her phone started buzzing because of a message. Julian Blackwood was on television now, being interviewed live. Emma pulled up the stream. Julian was sitting across from a famous journalist. He looked very calm. There was something different about him. He seemed open, like he was being himself. "Mr. Blackwood, some pictures came out this morning. They seem to show you with Emma Rodriguez, who owns a bakery. The pictures make it look like you two are really close, like a couple. What do you have to say about these photos of you and Emma Rodriguez?" Emma held her breath as she waited to see what would happen next. The silence was really scary for Emma. Emma was very nervous. She did not know what to do. Julian looked at the camera. He said, "I can tell you that the photos are real. Emma Rodriguez has been taking care of the food at my company's events. Over time, Emma Rodriguez has become a lot more than just someone I do business with." The journalist leaned forward, asked, "Are you saying you are in a relationship with this person?" "I am confirming that Emma is a person. Emma is a passionate and talented person. Emma sees the world in a way that I've forgotten about. Emma challenges me to do things. Emma makes me want to be a person." Julian's voice was steady. His eyes looked really intense. "I am not good at being in relationships. I get too caught up in my work. I like to be in control of everything. I also tend to shut people out. Emma makes me want to try to do things differently with her. Emma makes me want to try to be in a relationship with Emma." The journalist said, "This is really different from the Facebook company's way of handling privacy. The Facebook company is being very open now, which is not like the Facebook company all." "Yes," Julian said. He thought about this for a moment. He realized that he has been building walls around himself for a time. This was because he wanted to protect himself and be alone. Julian thought that being alone made him a strong person. Then he met Emma. Emma showed him that being strong is not about being alone. It is about being willing to be hurt. Real strength is when you care about someone like Emma more than you care about what happens to you. Julian learned that it is okay to care about someone that much. It is okay to be vulnerable like Emma was with him. "So this is a public declaration? This is me putting everything on the line for someone who's really important to me." Julian looked at the camera again. Emma knew he was speaking right to her. "Emma, if you are watching this, I know I can be tough to deal with. I know I can come across as aloof and distant. I am probably the last person you should really trust. I am also totally in love with you, and it is a little scary. I will break down all my defenses, make all the necessary changes. Do whatever it takes to show you that my feelings for Emma are genuine. I will do anything to prove to Emma that this is real, that my love for Emma is the deal." The studio was really quiet all of a sudden. Emma looked at her phone. She just stared. Tears started falling down her face. Emma was looking at her phone screen. She could not stop crying. The studio was still silent. Emma was. She was looking at her phone. Julian said, "I am making a promise to everyone now. The building where Sweet Haven Bakery is located will not be torn down. I am going to turn the property into a place that helps food businesses. Sweet Haven Bakery will be the business there, and Emma will have a lease that does not change. She will pay the same rate she pays now." The journalist said, "That is a great gift." Julian said, "This is not a gift. This is what should have been done from the start." Julian's face looked a little better then. He said, "I was wrong about a lot of things. I am done being wrong about this thing now." Julian meant what he said about this thing. The interview was over. Emma was sitting in her bakery and her heart was beating fast. Julian had just told the world how he felt about her. He had changed everything he was going to say. He did not care what people thought of him anymore. Julian had always been known as a businessman, but he put all of that aside and told everyone how he really felt, which was a pretty scary thing for him to do. Julian was being very open and honest about his feelings for Emma. That was a big deal.